Hi, it's Vaishali here. I'm at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have beaten Swansea 3-1 in the Premier League, and I'm glad to say I'm here with Nizaar Kinsella, Goals Chelsea correspondent today, who'll be talking through the game with me really briefly. Nizaar, how's it going?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me on your platform. Yeah.
Did you enjoy the game?
Yeah, I thought it was actually really interesting. I thought the first half Chelsea were brilliant, but it was a bit boring because they were so dominant. I mean, Chelsea should not have been going in 1-1 at half time, and then the second half it was a bit more, evenly matched. Swansea caused Chelsea a lot of problems, but Chelsea rose to it and got the 3 points like they've been doing week in, week out this season. And at Stamford Bridge, it seems to be a guaranteed thing that Chelsea are going to win. Yeah.
Now I want to focus on a couple of players today. We're going to look at Cesc Fabregas, Pedro and Fernando Llorente, the players that probably a lot of you guys out there want to know about. Now Cesc Fabregas, of course, he scored on his 300th Premier League appearance. Yeah. He continues to show just how important he is to this team, even though he doesn't start week in, week out. Yeah. Do you think he's forcing his way into that side?
Yeah, I do. I think that we might be seeing a sort of turning point where Fabregas comes in over Matic. I think that Fabregas has been brilliant for weeks. It's not just today. He's been brilliant in the FA Cup. He's used the FA Cup as a platform to get himself back into the first team in the league because Matic has been, established that spot for so long. But Matic had a poor performance against Burnley. I don't think it's anything to worry about. I still rate Matic as a player, and both of them have their role in the club and in the team. But Fabregas is producing enough quality that it's worth accommodating him into the team. Kante maybe has to sit a bit deeper when Fabregas plays because he needs a bit of protection. He doesn't cover as much ground as Matic and read the play as well. But we saw today what creativity, his passing range is second to none, probably the best in the league in that position, and his goal was sensational, wasn't it?
And Pedro, he could have scored a superb solo goal, but I think it was a last-ditch clearance that denied him, but he did get on the score sheet in the end today. Conte was full of praise for him afterwards as well, and he's just he's like another player to the one we saw last season, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he's justifying that £21 million price tag. I think a lot of people were saying poor signing. Chelsea made a poor signing last season, the way he played, but coming into a team that was in poor form, from Spain, you never played in England, it was a big ask, and he played pretty badly last season, but he still scored a lot of goals. And then this season everything's going well. He's in a better position. Conte even said in his post-match press conference, he said that I've found the right position for Pedro, sort of thing. I think that he does so well in that, and he does so much defensive work as well. I mean, he's got 10 goals in 9 games, but his defensive work, he's tireless. He runs all over the pitch. He probably covers the second most amount of ground out of any player. Kante's obviously number one, but Pedro, I think he's getting close to the level of Hazard and Diego Costa as well. Everyone talks about those guys, everyone's excited about those players, those ones that steal the headlines, but Pedro's stealing the headlines in recent weeks, isn't he?
And even Conte, he said in the press conference afterwards, he was saying he's as great as Hazard and Costa, even though he doesn't get probably the limelight that those two get. Just one last thing in terms of players, looking at Fernando Llorente. Now he scored that header just before half time. He was a player that Chelsea were looking at last month, and we understand Conte's coached him before at Juventus. Do you think if he goes back in for him in the summer, he'll be the kind of signing that Chelsea need or want?
I think he could have a role at the club. He'd be a great backup for Diego Costa, but we've got to see whether Michy Batshuayi can prove himself still. I don't think he has proved himself yet, but he's got a few months. He's got to work on stuff in training. He's got to be better at holding up the ball. He scores goals, that's fine, but it's the rest of his play he needs to work on. So I think that, I don't think it's a guarantee that Chelsea are going to go back in for him. I think it was a temporary move to get Chelsea over the line in the title race. They haven't got Llorente, and they've had to, find other solutions. They're using Hazard as a false nine, and Michy Batshuayi maybe occasionally comes on off the bench. Unfortunately for him, it's quite difficult, but I'm not sure Chelsea will definitely go for him. I think they might get a younger model. I think they might get a bigger money model as well. I think they might look for something, Lukaku, somebody of that ilk, Alvaro Morata of Real Madrid as well. I think they might go down a younger route. I think that Chelsea maybe will be looking for fewer players to sign in the summer because they've got so much quality already, but just a couple of really, really top-class players.
Well, thanks, Nizaar, for your thoughts on today's game. Chelsea have, of course, beaten Swansea. They've got West Ham now in the Premier League, and then they've got that big FA Cup tie with Manchester United, which we'll both be at.
Very exciting. I can't wait.